I think a lot of us come right into our hands way before we have the support for it. And I'm guilty of it myself, just saying, come to your hands and knees. But if we haven't been on our hands and knees since we were 9 months old, that could be 30 or 40 or 50 years ago. We might need to relearn how to do that. And this was a huge discovery for me, which I actually found through practicing karate and learning how to punch. Because when you punch, you're supposed to strike with your knuckles, right? Not with your fingertips, making a fist. And trying to do my old pattern. So lots of tightness in the back of my hand. And I have lots of mobility, right? Lots of wrist flexibility, lots of finger flexibility. So, so I would curl my fingers in and punch. And I would either hit my fingers, hit my fingers here and go into my wrist there, or my wrist would have to be a little bent and I would hit with my wrist. Either way, I kept punching and it kept going into my wrist. And the back of my hand was really flat. And in fact, it's not flat like that anymore, but the back of my hand was kind of concave, this way. I'd make a knuckle and I'd make a fist. And then I figured out, and I looked at my teacher, her fist, and she had this set of joints right here. She had this bump right there. It wasn't a bump, but she could flex through the hand. So what you can look at also, you can see if this is happening. If you curl your fingers in and it goes knuckles, wrist, can you find curling in, which might mean actually doing a little bit less in your fingers so that you can find more movement in the palm of your hand. Can you find fingers, knuckles, hand before wrist? And when I find my hand, I do less in my wrist. It undoes some of the mobility in my wrist. But it makes the palm of my hand feel like more kind of condensing. And it makes these joints that we just found, makes me articulate them in flexion a little more. Right? So we're looking for these joints. Rather than out here. So having found that, or played with finding that, even if they don't really pop up, you can play with them a little bit and then come back to your hand and see if that helps. Once I figured it out, I practiced then doing this mobilizing kind of stuff. And what I found was that like Kim said, my knuckles were really flexible, and I was like, oh, I'm so flexible, but right there was this hidden spot that never ever moved in me. And as that moves more, I began to do less jamming of my knuckles and less jamming of my wrist by getting that to move more. It's fabulous, isn't it?
Amazing.
Amazing. We're not even to the wrist joint yet.
It's like finding like an extra room or something.
It's like finding an extra room.